Ottawa is stepping up its push for a prestigious spot on the world stage. Prime Minister Stephen Harper unveiled a multi-million-dollar package today to help fight disease in the developing world. The backdrop for his announcement was the United Nations, where there are a number of other countries looking to gain some global recognition. CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Robert Fife is in New York.
The Prime Minister is in full-scale election mode, taking to the podium at a UN summit on global poverty and over developing country votes for a coveted seat on the powerful UN Security Council.
It's not enough for nations to make promises. We must get results.
So Harper offered up more money to combat killer diseases, $540 million to fight the spread of AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria.
It's going to make a difference to the women and children in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia and in all those forgotten places around the world.
There are 54 African votes at stake in the Security Council race. Harper listed off $8 he's delivered, including $1 billion at the G8 summit for poor mothers and children. He says more needs to be done.
It is a sad reality that each year, hundreds of thousands of mothers die in pregnancy and nearly 9 million children die before their 5th birthday.
Also in the running for the Security Council seat is Portugal and Germany.
Der Gleichstellung der Geschlechter.
Chancellor Angela Merkel boasting Germany's third largest aid donor. Canadian aid organizations credit Harper's generosity to the upcoming UN vote.
Obviously, our government, I believe, is also motivated because they're looking for a Security Council seat.
Despite the new spending, critics note Canada plans to tighten foreign aid spending next year as a deficit-fighting measure, even if it wins a seat in October.
The decision in March by Prime Minister Harper to freeze the aid budget for the next 5 years is not what we need right now.
Harper shared the stage with two international outcasts, Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe and Iran's president. Canadian diplomats walked out of President Ahmadinejad's speech in protest of Iranian human rights abuses. The Prime Minister interrupted his UN campaign tonight for domestic politics. He and 4 cabinet ministers flew home for tomorrow's crucial vote on the long gun registry. Lloyd.
Well, Bob, I know that you had phone calls from there in New York to Ottawa regarding the outcome of the vote on the gun registry. What have you found?
Lloyd, the margin going into tomorrow's vote is going to be razor thin. If all MPs show up for the vote, party sources say the Conservative attempt to kill the long gun registry will fail by a vote of 153 to 151. A word of caution, though, Lloyd. Opposition party sources say it's still possible that some MPs who oppose the gun registry and flip-flop may get cold feet, they may get the flu, and the Conservatives are hoping that some of those Liberal MPs from Newfoundland will stay home to help their constituents deal with the flooding from Igor.
Well, clearly there's a lot of pressure on these MPs to toe the party lines. What does the outcome mean for the winners and the losers?
Well, Lloyd, the Conservatives feel that they're going to win no matter how the vote goes. If they lose the vote, they think they're going to raise an awful lot of money from people who are angry over this defeat. They also think that they can pick off at least 15 of 20 rural ridings from opposition MPs who have flip-flopped on this. They believe that voters will punish them for doing that. So you can see, for opposition MPs, this is a lot of pressure.
Indeed. Well, big vote tomorrow. We'll be watching, of course. Thanks, Bob.
Good night, Lloyd.
2 sets of pictures tonight bring large questions for people in charge. First, in Brazil, what could have caused this terrifying disaster at a car race?